adopt this mindset, it will be fairly easy for you to become magnetic to money, right? You will become a money magnet because there's no way around it. It's a principle. And this is something that I've really been learning recently, and that is that you want to focus on giving people what they want, right? And understanding the concept that you must give first in order to receive. See, a lot of my journey has been stumped by the fact that I haven't been too focused on the people that I need to serve. I've been more selfish in terms of, oh, I want my video to come out in this way, or I want to do it in this way, or focusing on what I think people need as opposed to what they actually want. But that's not your job as an entrepreneur. That's not your job as a YouTuber. Your job is to figure out what people desire and then create things that will help them fulfill that desire. And once they can do that, that is when you start to acquire wealth. You must focus on thinking from the perspective of the person that you are trying to help, right? So if it's on your YouTube videos, for example, on the YouTube channel, think about the person you're trying to help, and then think about what would they want to click on, right? Not necessarily so much what would you want to make, but more like what would be useful for them, and how can I frame that in a way that would actually get them to click on this video? How would I frame my offer, the thing I'm trying to sell? How would I frame that in a way where basically someone can't resist not buying it because it fulfills their desire? So it all depends on your audience and what the desire is, right? For me, my channel is about self-improvement for young men. So a lot of us young men, we focus on our fitness, we focus on making money, especially online in these modern times, focus on our personal development, obviously girls. So these are all deep desires that men have. And the way I can fulfill that through my YouTube channel is creating valuable content that fulfills on those desires. See, I could have called this video like, the mindset to become abundant, or the mindset to some kind of more vague thing. But since I put a deep desire of actually making money in the title, you clicked on it. See, so you have to think from the perspective of the person that you are trying to help, and you have to frame whatever your idea is, you have to frame whatever your offer is in a way that they really understand it and it really plays into their desire. The other night I was watching this podcast. Okay, it's like a relationship dating type podcast, and there was a woman on there, and she was like, the guy was asking her, all right, well, what are you looking for in a man, and she's an OnlyFans chick, so she's online, doing basically, sex work, right? And she's like, well, I want a man who's family oriented. I want a man who is tall. I want a man who makes over $1 million a year. And get this, she says, I want a man who is making over $1 million a year and is not in my industry, aka she's not in the sex industry, right? And so she has all these crazy standards. And then the guy asked her, okay, so that being said, what can you bring to the table that a man like that would actually want? Simple question, right? In the sense that you would be thinking, okay, well, that's what I want, but what does this person want so that they'll want me? She couldn't answer it. She had taken no time to think about the perspective of the person that she wanted and what they would have wanted. She took no time to think about it. It was all about me. It was all about being subjective. And that's just an example. And that's just kind of, it clicked for me when I was watching that video. It was weird. It just clicked for me, like, that's the biggest problem. Especially in business, if you're like an entrepreneur or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you want to make money online, you have to focus on what other people want, and you have to give it to them first. You have to think from the perspective of the person you are trying to serve. So if you want somebody to do something for you, or you want a specific result from somebody, you need to give them what they want first. Number one, right? Number one, you have to serve. And so this is just something that I learned in a mindset shift that I'm going to be applying to as going forward. You guys are going to see, like, even in my titles, thumbnails, things like that, it's going to reflect more of like what people actually desire, so that I actually grow a bigger audience and get more clicks. Right now we're out just doing some cardio, getting the daily cardio in, and decided to just bust out the camera right now, the phone, and just record this because this is just the time I had to do it. But so yeah, she had taken no time. The girl in that video had taken no time to think from the perspective of the person that she wanted. So instead of sitting there and being like, okay, I want this guy who's, a multimillionaire, he's family oriented, what would he want? Okay, well, probably not a woman who's on OnlyFans, because that's not a good example of a mother, right? Probably not a woman who is, got a nasty attitude or is stuck up or entitled. Probably not a woman who, you know, thinks that she's, oh, so special and that, you know, she deserves this and deserves that. Probably not that, you know what I mean? But she hadn't thought about that. And because of that, she will never attract that guy. She'll never ever attract that guy because she's not turning herself into something that he would want. She's not turning herself into something that he would desire. And so that's really the biggest thing, is that you have to think about it from the perspective of other people. How can you turn what you have into something that they desire so that you can get what you want, right? Because the problem with human beings is we're so, how do I put this? We're very much focused on what we want and ourselves and selfish, right? Humans are very self-interested, or we put our interests first typically, right? Because of survival. But that's not to say that human beings don't collaborate or they don't. We're very social creatures, but you have to understand human psychology, and that is, if something is available, someone's going to act in their own interest to get it 9 times out of 10, especially when it comes to, you know, when in the game of business and entrepreneurship, is someone's going to see something, they're gonna be like, oh, I want that or I don't. They're not gonna really care about what you want. I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to get across to you, is like, no one really cares about what you want. They only care about what they want. So if you can focus first on what they want, you'll get what you want. But there's a famous quote too from Jim Rohn about this same concept, about first you give and then you get. If you want something, right, first you have to serve. And so this is one of the biggest mindset shifts that I'm just really having, and like I've really had in the future. And I've really started to realize that's exactly why I'm not at a higher level in my journey of business yet, right? That's the biggest thing. It's because I just haven't been focusing enough on providing what other people want. I've been too focused on like, oh, this sounds like a good video. Let me take this idea and let me just put it out there. And it's like, yeah, that's great. But if that idea isn't displaying the value, if that idea isn't displaying what people want, it really doesn't matter, right? They're not going to click on it. And there's nothing, you can't force people to do it. It's not going to work. So you have to tap in. So how do you fix that? You tap into their desire of what they really want. And so that also means you need to know your audience, right? You need to know who you're talking to. And for me, I'm typically talking to my younger self. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm just talking to my younger self. The younger version of me who was trying to become successful in business but kept failing. You know, started doing Amazon FBA, failed that. You know, started doing real estate, made some sales, but then realized it wasn't for him. You know, started drop shipping, failed at that. Like, there's so many different instances where I failed at different things, and it mostly came down to, number one, not putting in enough time, but also just because I wasn't focused on that mindset in terms of what do people desire, and let me create an opportunity for them to fulfill that desire. That's the biggest thing. That's the tagline of this video, is create opportunities for people to fulfill their desire. If you can do that, you'll have everything you want, right? You'll have all the money you want, you'll have all the abundance that you need, because you're creating these sort of pathways and vehicles for people to express their desire. And the vast majority of human beings don't do that because they're interested in just themselves and their own selfish reasons. So if you can become a person who actually creates those opportunities for other people, you'll be so rich you won't know what to do with the money, right? And furthermore, that wealth is going to come from actually giving people what they truly desire, which is even better because you're really helping the world. So yeah, I just thought that, and of course it was just funny that, of course, that idea and that concept popped up on a video like that, right? Like some delusional chick, you know, calling out her standards and all this and being like completely so off base. And I'm like, of course, that kind of popped in my head during that. So you never know, like, you never know when that light bulb moment is going to pop off or when it's going to hit, you know? And again, this is a mindset where you really want to lock this mindset in, and you have to repeat it and remind yourself. So you might have to watch this video again to really kind of understand what exactly I mean by this. And furthermore, if you've made it to this point in the video, just comment down below, write something like, you have to give before you get, or giving is getting, or something like that, because that will reinforce it in your subconscious mind, this principle that you need to actually first serve, and then you'll get what you desire, right? First, you need to provide what other people want, then you'll get what you desire. So yeah, this is a big problem too I see on YouTube, beginner YouTubers, including myself. I'm not saying I'm an expert on YouTube or anything, but I'm on a journey to, you know, become successful in my niche. And that's one of the biggest problems that people have, is they don't know how to get their ideas across in a way where other people find them desirable and interesting. That's the biggest thing. So yeah, if you're a YouTuber, if you're just someone who's starting their journey of making money online, think about that. And another aspect of this is going to come from, of course, your personal development, right? Because this bridge just like collapsed on me. Too heavy now. After that bulk, 200 pounds, baby, 15% body fat. Bridge can't handle me. But your personal development is going to be really key, because your personal development, your success will never exceed your level of personal development, right? So me having this realization of, oh, actually, it doesn't matter really what I want or what I think if other people don't find it desirable or don't care about it. If I'm not providing what other people really want and really desire, they're not going to click on my video. They're not going to buy my product. That realization right there, that's a personal development principle, right? Because you're understanding fundamentally how human beings work and how the mind works. And so your level of personal development is key. So this is why, even though, you know, on this channel I talk about business a lot of the time and principles like that, we still fold in a lot of personal development. Your fitness is key. Your mindset's key. Okay, don't think that these things aren't important. Don't think that your daily habits aren't important. Don't think that you're just going to get away with being the highest version of yourself while you're still doing vices, because all these things will hold you back. So it's really a holistic process, bro. It really is. But the bottom layers here is really about getting your base habits on lock, right? Making sure that your fitness is on lock, making sure that your daily habits are on lock. You've got the schedule, you've got a routine, you're avoiding all the vices, right? No drugs, no alcohol, no porn, you know, no just consuming content all day. Those are all vices that will stop you from getting to where you want to be in terms of your ultimate goal. And that doesn't matter what it is, right? Those things are not going to help you, especially in business, because you need your mind to be as clear as possible. And business, really, I've learned, is really about empathizing with the other person. You have to have empathy. You have to really be able to feel the emotions of what the other person is going through and thinking about it from their point of view, right? That's what it's all about. And like I said, it's hard to do that. And you might be struggling with that right now, just like I was and still am, but at least like I'm learning and taking action on it. You might be struggling because that's not normal necessarily for a human to do that. It's normal for some people, but for a lot of people, they're so selfish and so locked into their own sort of paradigm and what they want and what they're going after, that they forget that the only way to get what you want is to actually help other people get what they want first. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Leave that comment down below to really lodge that into your subconscious mind. As always, thanks for your support. 100% wouldn't be able to do this without your guys' support. So yeah, we're just gonna keep leveling up, just keep progressing in business, fitness, mindset. That's what we talk about here on this channel. And as always, stay relentless in chasing your dreams. Peace.